Hello, everybody. It's Mark here, and I've got with me a guest who is making millions per year in affiliate marketing with organic traffic. So, we're talking about traffic that is not pay per click, and he's actually able to go away on holiday, spend no money on ads, come back, and find that he's got more money in his account than when he left for the holiday in the first place. That's the beauty of organic traffic. Now, I'm not going to say that this is easy. I can say it's straightforward, but I'm not going to say it's easy, because for some people it's easy and for some people it's hard. But he is going to share with you exactly how it works, and that's what's key. And if you think that this is for you and you want to dive in and get a bunch of free traffic, then this is how it's done, because you're learning from a guy that makes millions of dollars a year doing this as an affiliate. So without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to Donothan. Welcome along, Donothan.
Hey, Mark. Thanks for having me on here.
Thanks for being here. I really, really appreciate your time. Now, first of all, what did you do before you decided to start being an affiliate? And then I'm going to get some tips from you.
Yeah, definitely. So when I was in high school, I worked as a line cook. I've done sales jobs. I've worked in retail stores at Macy's. I've cooked I've done like a myriad of things in terms of jobs. I worked at an SEO agency, which is really where it sparked my interest, because I realized how important marketing was to these businesses, right? Before I went and worked at the SEO agency, I had no idea what was the actual driver of these businesses being able to grow and scale, get customers, have visibility. And when I started working at the agency, it really taught me that, hey, the things that I am doing at this agency are impacting these businesses directly in their P&Ls. And I know you're going to get to the next thing about affiliate marketing, but that's really what opened my eyes to, hey, why can't I do this for myself? And that's kind of where I learned about affiliate marketing and not having to create a whole brick and mortar business to make money on.
You learned how to get free traffic from the search engines, and then you thought, wait a minute, I could just earn commissions from other people's products and do this for myself. I don't have to just get paid dollars per hour doing it for all these clients, so to speak. That was your thought behind it.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And I think for some people, I guess, and I'm one of them, I used to do SEO a long time ago, and I still got a lot of rankings today because of that work that went in, but it was harder back then. It started out very easy, don't get me wrong, like way back in the early 2000s, but then I'm talking like the 2010s. Then it got hard, and then it got easy again all of a sudden in the last couple of years. Because of AI, I guess, and I'm not saying we're talking about just some article that's just generated from, I don't know, Claude or ChatGPT, press a button and out it comes, that's going to work, because there's a little bit to it, but you can create quality content and much easier. So it levels the playing field. So no longer do you have to go ahead and either spend hours and hours and hours every day writing, or hire somebody and pay hundreds of dollars a week for them to write stuff for you. Now it's actually so much quicker and easier than it used to be. Do you agree with that for a starter? Because I know that's sort of part of the basis of what you do, I guess. And what are your thoughts on that going forwards?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest opportunities that I've seen in the current market is really the discovery, right? Because before, I was solely reliant on either the knowledge that I knew or the knowledge that I could go and ask somebody else about, right? So meaning if I wanted to go into a niche, say like dog training, I would either have to know information about dog training or be able to find somebody that knew something about dog training. And now with the tools that are available to us, like we can almost be an expert in any space. We can learn about any space. We can learn about different problems that spaces are having and solutions that, find solutions to those problems. And so, like you're saying, it has become a lot easier just because we can access so many more opportunities than we could before. So definitely opening up a lot of markets to us.
And AI isn't just writing tools, just so people realize. AI can do research for you. AI can actually do multiple steps for you. Most people just do one step. They go to ChatGPT, they ask a question, and out comes whatever they're looking for. but that's not as efficient, say, as having like a production line where you might ask it for one thing and then the AI goes off and does this research, then it takes that research and it distills down certain things, and then it goes and takes what it's distilled down and turns this into a little bit of a write-up. Then it looks at that and decides, hey, this looks a little bit too AI, and then it goes and changes that, and then it goes and double checks all the studies are correct and stuff, and then it gives you your output. That's always better, like when it's a production line approach and stuff like that. Like AI has turned into more of a production line approach or an agent approach. It's not what it was 6 months ago. Things have changed quite quickly, I guess. And it's opened up the doors to the little guy now to be able to compete with the big guy again, because there was this big period where every damn result in Google was basically like one of about 15 websites. You knew it was just going to come from one of those sites like medium.com or something like. Now, I also mentioned you're not targeting when it comes to getting rankings in the search engines. You are not targeting the short phrases. They are still dominated by the big companies, right? And even the longer tail, they're dominated by the big companies just because a lot of the little guys aren't putting out content in those spaces anymore. But you're finding, hey, if that phrase has about 5 words in it or something like that, you can now totally get ranking and get a lot of traffic. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think the biggest discovery that I've made over my career online is you don't need everyone. I think when we first get online and you learn about, oh, I want to go into health or I want to go into this, it's like you think you have to dominate the entire thing to make money. And really, if you can find a pocket of traffic, a pocket of people, a pocket of customers that are interested in the products you're offering, you can make a lot of money. And especially if you choose the right niche, right? If you choose the right affiliate programs, you can make a lot of money and you don't need a bunch of traffic. But like you said, if you can laser focus in on the people that, maybe everybody's not going after, a small segment, you can really dominate that segment. That's a very small segment, a very niche segment, and make a lot of money. So I think, my approach when I first came in is like, oh, let's build these massive sites that just try to cover and dominate everything. And that obviously is not the right approach. And when you learn that, hey, I don't really need to dominate. All I need is my little corner over here. The big guys aren't paying attention to me. They're not even thinking about me over here. It just becomes a lot more exciting. It becomes a lot more bulletproof, if you want to call it that, in terms of not having to really worry about competition.
Well, you said the big guys aren't looking at you, but you have had the opportunity to sell a couple of websites, because if they do get to the point that the big guys are looking at you, now they're worth millions of dollars. So I think I guess that's the thing. The big guys aren't looking at you when you're making thousands of dollars per day, but once it really cranks up, it's not a bad thing. They offer you a bunch of money. You've got the option. Either you keep making your thousands of dollars, or you go, man, I could actually sell this for 7 figures now, or at least high 6 figures. I think that's not a bad thing either, is it?
No, and the market has actually opened up because there's now a lot more people that are investing in online sites. There's a lot of companies that are looking at, well, how do we, we don't want to hire a whole marketing team. We can't get third-party reviews on our own and put them on our site and like have the same credibility like an affiliate site. So there's even like big companies now buying the affiliate sites because they're valuable. They're pockets of traffic that company wasn't going to be able to access, and for them to be able to essentially replicate what my site does in terms of traffic and conversion, it's expensive for them to pay for ads, right? And so they can just buy my site, have an organic form of traffic, and access customers that they ordinarily wouldn't get to. So
yeah, so that's really valuable. Would you mind sharing a couple of the niches that you're in, just so people have an idea and they could picture, hey, this is the kind of thing Donothan does?
Yeah, so the predominant niche that we're in is actually the precious metals niche, but we also are in some of the health niches with like bottled water, hydrogen water specifically. And then we have a couple of supplements that we have found to be really good, especially for oral hygiene supplements, have been really good. And then just like brain health. So anything around brain health, mental health right now, the supplement market for those has been really good. And the really cool thing about those is you don't just get paid on the front end, you get paid as long as somebody continues to buy from that company, because usually those companies are doing subscriptions. So it's a really cool passive income stream just with those health supplements.
Yeah, and there's just so many niches out there. Personally, I've done well in language learning, wedding speeches, daycare management software of all niches, how to draw manga comics, learn guitar, learn piano, diabetes, you know, a lot of other niches as well, wholesale sourcing and supplying, like you name it. Like there are, and there are a lot of niches, and I've only just said a few. You've said a few. There are a lot out there, and I think a lot of people don't realize that there are way more products to promote these days that convert really well, that people actually want and like, than there used to be even 2 years ago. Things have changed quite a lot because a lot of these companies are now realizing, hey, we need an affiliate program, because it's actually a lot easier if people can give us the traffic than if we have to have this extra market, another big marketing team out there marketing our stuff. So much easier just to pay a commission. So have you noticed that as well? Like that there's more opportunity than there used to be?
100%. I mean, because you think that a lot of these companies, when I first was getting started, like a lot of them had trouble putting up a website, right? And now everybody has a website. That's a standard. So like even, when you find trending products, as long as a company is essentially promoting their product out to the market and people are looking for that product, they're usually going to be willing to have an affiliate program. And even companies that, we see they're spending money on ads, they don't have an affiliate program. I send them an email or send them a message and say, hey, do you have an affiliate program? They don't have an affiliate program. They usually set one up. And it's usually within 48 hours that they're setting one
Wow.
up. So, I mean, the opportunity is just really great for affiliate marketers right now, because there's so many trending products, and with social media and everything taken off with products and brands, it's like it's an open minefield right now in this market.
Yeah, and search isn't the only way to get traffic, of course. It's one way. And you know the intent of the person because you know kind of what they were searching for when they found your site. But obviously, as you're getting traffic, you might get people. Let's say you could decide, I guess, to set up a Facebook page. You don't have to, but you could. You could set up a LinkedIn profile. You could set up a Twitter. As more and more visitors are coming to your site now, more and more people are joining your social media, and now people are finding you through social media and then finding your website, and then it goes the other way. So all of a sudden you're getting free traffic from all of these other things. And I think that's quite exciting. And it used to be very difficult because people would be like, I don't know what to queue up for my posts for the next 30 days and stuff like that. And now with AI, it can be done a whole lot easier. I'm not saying that you just go off and you just go to ChatGPT and ask for 30 social media posts. They'll probably be rubbish. They won't be the right quality. But, if you follow what you do and you use the right approach with your tools, it comes out being very, very knowledgeable, especially if the AI is off checking the news and doing some research as it's writing all of these posts. It ends up being that, hey, these are really good posts. I didn't need to do so much work or much work at all. I just need to be making sure that I'm following the system. I think that's the key, because there was such a long period where people decided, I'm only going to do paid traffic because free traffic is a lot of work. And a lot of that work is now way shorter than it ever used to be.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just spotting opportunities. I mean, we used to spend hours and hours putting together what we call the content calendar. And all a content calendar is it's like, okay, what posts are we going to do today? What posts are we going to do tomorrow? What posts are we going to do for the next 30 days, for the next 6 months, for the next year? And we would spend hours on that. And I mean, we were very limited on kind of like the subject matter or the niche expertise, because we're using our own brains. We're typing into Google and trying to see what people are searching for. And now, like, with these AI things, they are incredibly smart. And I mean, they can hit angles that we
They can make the
ordinarily
content
wouldn't.
calendar,
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
up with the hooks, the angles. Yes, absolutely. And obviously with your stealth brain, like your brain, AI brain that you've got, that you guys use, and obviously your students use, it's able to think the way you think. So teaching even has become easier, because instead of having to teach people to do all the steps, you teach people so they understand the steps, but you just teach them to use the tool, and the tool does all the steps for them so that they know the outcome and why that is better than, say, going off to ChatGPT and doing it in one go and it not going through the process, I guess. All I'm saying is that it's almost like you're giving them a staff member to help do the whole thing for them. But you guys also build websites for your students anyway. Like every student you take in, you actually build their site for them. So you build it, you put up the first 5 or 6 content posts, and you do quite a lot of manual work for people. Why do you do that instead of just teaching them and getting them to do that? Like you give them their starting point. Why do you build the site for every single student you take on?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest reasons is because so many people just have a hard time getting started, right? To go through training and then spend hours and hours going through training and then spend hours and hours trying to implement the training. People get hung up, they get frustrated, they get burnt out. They decide, oh, this isn't for me and all that kind of stuff. And so we wanted to decrease the barrier to entry for people. We wanted to give people something tangible right from the go that was built the way we would build it, even down to, okay, what niche should I go into? What product should I be selling or trying to offer as an affiliate? I've never done this before, so I don't know what programs
So
I'm
if
going
they're
to be
not
able
sure,
to
you'll
do.
choose the niche and you'll
Yeah,
get them approved by that program or tell them what to do and vouch for them if needed.
yep.
Wow, that's really helpful. So yeah, because plus also it is a lot of work though. It's a lot of manual work. So I think that's quite amazing that you do that for people. Now, I want to know, I guess, what just because people want to know about numbers and stuff like that. I know it's millions a year and stuff, but like, what would have been one of your best weeks, say, in the last few months? Like, what's I know maybe it's not your average week, but just so people can sort of be excited by what's possible, it'd be really interesting to know.
Yeah, so the space I'm in, it's more around deals. It's like deal sizes. So like a deal, we had like 3 deals close about a month and a half ago, and we did about 115,000 in that week from those deals
Wow.
closing. So
Wow, I see. I get what you're saying though, because you're in precious metals. Sometimes, if someone's going to spend a lot and diversify some of their portfolio into precious metals, yeah, it's tagged to you as the affiliate, but it takes time for that deal with that precious metals provider to take place. And then when it does, you might have a massive week, and then the next week I'm guessing you could make nothing, and then you can make 20,000 one week, and then 50,000, then zero, and then 100,000. Is it kind of like that in the niche that you're in?
it's pretty consistent in terms of deals closing weekly because depending on the
Okay.
affiliate vendor that we work with, like some of them deal with smaller transaction sizes. So that week, some of the one of the vendors that deals with larger transaction sizes, some of the deals just ended up closing.
But
But
there's
I mean,
always some money coming in. It's
yeah,
just some weeks can be 6 figures and some are 5, and that kind of thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's great. And that's just in that one particular niche, guys. Like, it's different for different niches, obviously. But that's, it's still pretty inspiring. What do people that used to work, what if, people that used to work with you, what do they think of all of this and what's happened with where you've gotten things to?
Like, what do you mean, like students or
Oh, well,
people
you,
that I
you said you
used
had a whole lot of
jobs
jobs
with?
in high school and stuff, and even people from the SEO company. Like, what do they must know that you've done really well with yourself and are continuing to grow. Like, what do they think? Are they inspired? Are some of them jumping in and going, "I need to do this too," or are they just look back and go, "Man, I wish I could do that," and then they're not doing it? Or um, just curious.
I mean, I think at first people don't believe it. And I would say if I was them at the point that most people are in their life, I probably wouldn't believe it either, right? Because it just sounds crazy. Like I grew up thinking that $100,000 a year was the most money that people made. I didn't know anything different just because of who I was surrounded by and the environment that I was in. And to make $100,000 in a week would be unrealistic. So a lot of times what I find is I have to actually show people this is it. These are the commissions. This is, how this works. People are very interested in the beginning. I would say that a lot of people are not willing to take the risk of being kind of an entrepreneur or independence. I don't know.
What is the risk? What is the risk? Yeah, I'm
The
just
risk
curious.
the risk to me,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't see a risk, right? Because they're spending 40 hours a week, maybe making 50 or $60,000 a year. Uh, it's like The alternative is if it doesn't work out, right, they go back to their 9 to 5 jobs. But if they follow the steps that I'm showing them, the likelihood of it working out is a lot higher than them getting an increase in their job.
Well, they're not
Right.
probably going to quit their job, are they? They'll probably keep the job while they're doing this, right? So, in essence, the risk is that you're going to miss out on some TV time or something else that you do that maybe it could even be your time on social media. Because, I mean, these days you really can do this in an hour a day. It used to be that it took longer because you literally took longer to write the articles. Or you had to pay someone. But now, you know, using your tools, I can literally just type a sentence and press a button and come back 5 minutes later and find that my article has been researched and well written and edited for me. And, over 2,000 words, 3,000 words, they're really good. And I think that's the difference. You've basically made it accessible to people where I guess it would have been a risk if they'd been thinking, man, I'm really going to have to commit 2 hours, 3 hours a day to this. That is probably a risk because that's your family time. That's a lot of other stuff, The risk is
Yeah.
lower now, right? That's because it's a time risk. It's not a dollar risk.
Yeah, I think the question that you asked is around people that I know.
I see.
And so like people that I know typically want me to do it for them. They don't want to do they don't want to do anything, or they want to partner with me, or they want me to just give them one of my sites, or just do that. So it's they're looking at it like they want to quit their job because maybe they don't like their job, they're not happy, and they're looking at me as I'm
I
going
see.
to do that for them. But like,
I get you. They're
yeah,
here and they're wanting to be here and they're trying to avoid step along the way. They're kind of wanting to just skip up very quick. Yeah, I know what that's
yeah.
like. I get what you're saying. And the reality is there are steps in between, but you've paved the way. Like you give step by step, you walk people through, you take people through with your training and so forth, which is fantastic. And it is relatively straightforward. So what I'm interested in is what are some reasons why people should join a workshop with you? Because you're running a free workshop where you're going to share with people in a lot more detail exactly how this works. Because it's one thing to sort of hear from us chatting, it's another thing to see it and to have it broken down properly, like in a structured training session. So what are some reasons why people should join a call that you're on?
Yeah, I mean, one of the main reasons that I see is just like turning how you view the world, right? Because with affiliate, you can start viewing everything that you do currently, like whether you're going to the grocery store, you're looking around your house, you start seeing everything as like, man, I can make money off this. Like this is a just a battery charger that I use for my phone, but I can make commissions off this, right? There's an affiliate program for that battery charger, and I already bought it, so I can make money from it. And it's just like when you go into as a normal consumer, you're looking at, hey, I can just go and spend my money, and I get this thing, and it's cool, but now I don't have the money anymore. And now when I look at things, it's like, what can I buy that's trending, that's interesting, that I can, get rankings for and start making commissions for it. The other thing that's really cool about this training is we're going to show you how to spot these opportunities, especially with products that are trending, how to find, products that are trending, how to look at, things to see if they're low competition, or how to find opportunities that are low competition, which decreases the barrier to entry for you. And we're also going to show you like the best way that we use to maximize and optimize our sites to get the most commissions from it, which is like super important. So yeah, I'm excited. We're also going to uncover the tools that have been created through the course of us creating our strategy that pretty much automate a lot of the things that we typically had to do manually back in the day and took hours and hours and
Mm,
hours to do.
I know, it's
So yeah,
crazy
it's going to be
how
really
fast things
cool.
have moved. Oh, that sounds awesome. Um, I think it's important that people also realize, I guess, that Google's not the only traffic source. It's just one that you chat about because it's a big giant, right? Google and by extension YouTube, because it's not like you can't just, because I get a lot of organic traffic from YouTube, and that's to me is even easier than Google. But and I give a bonus training on that to your students as well. But I'm just saying that Google's not the only one, but it is a big one If you do all the work to get into Google, you'll probably find that you suddenly start seeing traffic from Bing and from DuckDuckGo and other places anyway, without even having tried to get the traffic from there. Just the work that you put in to get into Google, somehow or other you end up ranking in these other places. You know, you end up turning your article into a video, and next thing you know, you're getting traffic from YouTube. You shorten it a bit, and next thing you know, it's in TikTok, and you're getting traffic from there. There's a lot of different sources of traffic out there. So I don't want everyone just to think, hey, the only chance is if I manage to beat people in Google. That's definitely a big one, but it's not the only one. And even within Google, there are a lot of wide search phrases. It's not just, say, if you're in dog training, it's not just dog training. There's stop golden retriever barking. You get what I mean? Like there's 500 breeds of dogs. There's 50 odd different common dog problems. You multiply those together and there's too many keywords that for everybody, you know. There's a lot of different types of phrases people type in every single different niche that you're in. Not to mention the cities' names anyway. Dog training in Chicago, for example, as another example. So anyway, I just wanted people to realize there's a lot of little bits of traffic everywhere if you're willing to take on this approach. If you want to join us for the workshop, then it's either in the description below or in the link below. And Donothan's going to teach this step by step. It's going to be a real eye-opener for you guys, and I highly recommend that you check this out. It's a really big opportunity. And I just wanted to say a big thank you, Donothan, for everything that you've shared on today's call. You've been very open and willing to share what niches you're in. You've been giving really good tips as well. I really, really appreciate that. And anyway, I just want to say a big thank you.
No, thank you for having me on, Mark.
Thank you. And for everyone else watching, hope to see you on the call with Donothan and take action with what you learn. See you next time. Bye for now.
See you soon, everyone.